In everyday life in modern times, we rely heavily on refrigerators and refrigeration technology to keep food fresh. However, before this technology was discovered, how did medieval castle dwellers store their food so it wouldn't spoil quickly? It turns out they have various advanced and innovative techniques for preserving food without electricity and artificial ice. Let's explore the traditional methods used in castle kitchens to avoid food spoilage. 1. Storage in the basement. One of the main techniques used by castle kitchens was the storage of food in cellars or cellars. This place has a cooler and more stable temperature compared to the room above, making it suitable for storing foods such as wheat, cheese, wine, and cured meats. Basements also often have low humidity, which helps inhibit the growth of mold and bacteria. 2. Drying and smoking meat. Meat was the main source of protein for the nobles and soldiers in the castle. Without refrigeration, fresh meat will rot quickly. Therefore, they used drying and smoking techniques to preserve meat. This process removes moisture from the meat, thereby inhibiting bacterial growth. Apart from that, the smoke from burning wood also contains compounds that can slow down spoilage and give meat a distinctive taste. 3. Salting and preserving with vinegar. Salt is a very effective natural preservative. In castle kitchens, meat and fish were often preserved by soaking them in brine or burying them in layers of salt. Salt draws water out of food, creating an inhospitable environment for bacteria. Apart from that, vinegar is also used to preserve vegetables and fruit in pickled form. Vinegar with a high acidity level can kill microorganisms and keep food long-lasting. 4. Storage in honey or fat. Another method used to preserve food was to store it in honey or fat. Honey has natural antibacterial properties that prevent the growth of microbes. Certain meats or fruits can be soaked in honey to extend their shelf life. Additionally, lard or beef tallow is used to cover meat and other foods in closed containers. Creates a protective layer that prevents air and bacteria from entering. 5. Making cheese and butter. Milk is a food ingredient that spoils quickly if not consumed immediately. To overcome this, the people in the castle process milk into cheese and butter, which has longer durability. Cheese is fermented with the help of good bacteria, which helps extend its shelf life. Meanwhile, butter is often stored in a closed container in a cool room to avoid spoilage. Fermentation and making alcoholic drinks. Fermentation was another method frequently used in castle kitchens. Vegetables such as cabbage are fermented into sauerkraut, while the fruit is fermented into wine or cider. The fermentation process produces an acidic or alcoholic environment, which helps prevent the growth of harmful bacteria and extends the shelf life of food. 7. Storage in a hole in the ground. In addition to the cellars, some castles also had storage holes in the ground that were used to store vegetables and tubers. These holes are often lined with straw or sand to maintain stable humidity and temperature. Vegetables like carrots, potatoes, and onions can last for months this way, even though they lived without modern cooling technology. Medieval castle kitchens had a variety of ingenious methods to keep food fresh and fit for consumption for a long time. From salting to fermentation, every technique used has a scientific basis that is proven to be effective. This storage system is not just a survival effort, but also reflects a deep understanding of natural materials and how best to use them. Even today, some of these techniques are still used in traditional food processing. By understanding these methods, we can better appreciate how our ancestors overcame the challenges of storing food without modern technology.